What is going on, league? Looks like we're having a problem in the league again. It's not the first time. So I will be going over what happened and the outcome of what's going to happen in the league. So as you can see here, we'll start off with my uncle's first trade with Dante. These 6 players ended up being traded. It was traded on Sunday, September 7th at 8:47 p.m. It was processed through at 47 hours, 59 minutes later, which is approximately 48 hours. It didn't get vetoed. If it was vetoed, it would have said that. Then we have Pez trade here with my uncle. It was accepted, but it was never processed. If you could scroll up, because here it says vetoed. The reason why it was never processed because Chris Godwin ended up playing in the Thursday night game, and that game was accepted at 11:38 p.m. on a Tuesday, September 7th. If they had did it, say on Tuesday, September 7th at 5:38 p.m., the trade would have went through in process because it was 48 hours. But with ESPN standard rules is if a player has already played or is going to play in that game within that 48-hour window, the trade won't go through until the end of the week. So it would either went through at Tuesday morning or it would have went through at Tuesday evening at 11:38 when they had traded. And that's just ESPN standard practice. So the outcome, I can't force this trade to go through because that review window is automatically extended. Uncle Bruce, I know I told you it was 2 days, and I'm leaving the ESPN rules standard. I'm not going to change anything about the rules. I said once the season has started, I'm not changing the rules. That's my fault for not knowing that. I sort of knew it because I did tell you before that the trade won't go through until the week is over. You knew that, and I knew that, and I told you that. And I know you're going to say you told me the trade review window was 2 days. I did tell you that. I just didn't tell you the whole thing because in my part, I didn't know. Ignorance is an excuse, so I'll take blame for that. But Lopez knew that, didn't break any rules. He didn't cheat. He didn't collude. He ended up being the 5th veto for the trade. So what I have to say about that is with Lopez, this is not his first time being in some sort of problem with trading. Lopez has in the past done dumb trades and has done the same thing. The first case was with another player named Brian. Lopez ended up trade raping himself, and everybody knew that, so he ended up texting everybody in the league individually, can you veto my trade? I was going to veto it anyway, but he was texting everybody. So that's the first case with Lopez, happened a couple years ago. Last year he traded away Derrick Henry for TJ Hawkinson and Todd Gurley and ended up getting vetoed. And this is just another case of Pez getting trade raping himself, complaining about why everybody wanted to veto it, or everybody saying it was a bad trade, and it's just another case of that. And then here's another case of Pez vetoing his own trade last minute. But yeah, like I said, what he did wasn't against the rules. He could veto his own trade. He didn't do anything above the rules. This is ESPN standards rules with the trade review window. He knew that better than me. I can't fault him for knowing the rules. That's like faulting a coach for knowing a loophole or something like that. You know, this wasn't a loophole. It just happened to be part of the rules that wasn't explained well by me because I didn't know. Like I said, ignorance, not an excuse, but it is what it is. If Pez wants to send the trade back, if you guys want to do the trade again, if it gets vetoed again, then you guys can't do that trade. You have to work another player in there or something like that. Pez doesn't have to send the trade back. I can't force him to send the trade back, and I won't be forcing your trade through for the integrity of the league. So that's that. What Pez did, like I said, it wasn't cheating, but it was some whole shit at the end of the day. But whole shit is not cheating. So I warn everybody, watch who you do business with in trading, and that's that. So the commissioner and K. Rooney signing off. Some of you might not be happy with this outcome, but at the end of the day, like I said before, I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to win. I'm here to win money. That's all. You may believe that the league is not run well to your liking, but I'm not here to do that. I'm here to run it to how I see fit, just to make sure nobody's confused about anything. Just because you tell me to do something that you believe it should be done doesn't mean it's going to get done, because if it's not how I see fit for the league that needs to be run, I'm not going to do it. So just so everybody knows that, to make it clear. Thank you.